Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the consensus best bets for NFL week number 5. These are bets that all of the analytical models that I look at agree with, along with a few that I had to override and add them because they were just too good. I will explain all of these. These are just a total of 10. Looking at number 1, it's the Browns +3 at home versus the LA Chargers. Guys, all of the models are loving the Cleveland Browns at home +3. Chargers, it's a tough travel, very inconsistent, not good against the run. The Browns can get up early in this game at home, keep it within 3, possibly win outright, coming off a loss on the road in Atlanta. They're going to be mad. They're going to want to get Amari Cooper the ball. They're going to want to run the football with Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. No Joey Bosa, he's out. Myles Garrett, questionable at best. I think if Myles Garrett was healthy, the Browns might be a 1-point favorite in this game. This is not a good travel situation for the Chargers, and I like the Browns to cover the 3, and so do the analytical models. Number 2, Chiefs -7 versus the Raiders. This is just the situation. Monday Night Football, the Chiefs were so dominant on Sunday night on the road in Tampa Bay. And that's even without Mahomes, throwing for 5 touchdowns. He only had 3 touchdowns, 250 yards. This is still a good Chiefs offense, even without Tyreek Hill. Travis Kelce's a superstar. They've got other good complementary receivers, and the Raiders kind of had a fluky win last week against Denver. They had, a weird touchdown, things like that. They ended up winning the game. I said they would, but still, the Chiefs -7, Monday night game. They always crush the Raiders, it seems. They will win. I think they were 2-0 against them last year as well. They will win this game by over 7 points. Number 3, I love the Tampa Bay Bucks -8.5 at home versus the Falcons. All the models love the Bucks this week. The Falcons, they've been such a surprise this year. They had the big win against Cleveland, but they lose Cordero Patterson. He's going to be out for 4 weeks at least. The Buccaneers, they were getting crushed by the Chiefs. Tom Brady had a bunch of garbage time stats. We know he's getting divorced with his wife, or there's an issue there. He's going to come out pissed. He's going to play well. And the Buccaneers, I've got them crushing the Falcons. This is a parity game to me. I do not think the Falcons have any chance to win this game going on the road. Marcus Mariota versus Tom Brady, I don't see it. I see the Buccaneers having a big offensive game. Both Leonard Fournette and Tom Brady. Possibly the Bucs putting up 5 touchdowns and winning this 35-16 or something like that. Number 4, the Commanders +2.5 versus the Titans. So this is one of my upsets. I like the Commanders straight up to beat the Titans. The Titans to me are a little bit fraudulent. They had significant turnover luck last week against the Colts, where they got outgained by over 100 yards. Very little wide receiver weapons, around Ryan Tannehill. He only threw for about 140 yards last week. Now they go on the road. The Commanders are going to be pissed. They're coming off a few bad games. Carson Wentz, this is what he is as an NFL quarterback. He's extremely streaky. He looks really good week 1, comes back weeks 3, weeks 4, he's bad. He will be good again this week at home. They do have weapons, even with Jahan Dotson possibly sitting out, their first-round receiver. I like the Commanders plus the 2.5. That's a parity game. The Commanders are beating the Titans at home. Number 5, Dolphins at the Jets, the under 44. So sometimes you just got to take the obvious one. Zach Wilson was not good at all in his first start of the season in Pittsburgh, even though they won. And then you've got a Dolphins team who's going to be with Teddy Bridgewater obviously out. This is Teddy Bridgewater, Zach Wilson, 44. I don't think that's low enough. If the number was 41 or 42, I'd probably struggle. But since it is at 44, you're looking at a game, even if it's 23-20, you've got the under hitting in these quarterbacks. It's just, you're going to need significant defensive touchdowns, a pick six or something like that, in my opinion, for this to go over. I see the under hitting. It's just too many points. Number 6, the Seahawks at the Saints. I'll take the over 46. So the Seahawks have been scoring a lot recently. The Saints are at home. There's a big question mark on Jameis Winston. Is he going to play? Is he not? Ideally for this game, I would like Jameis to play, but even if he doesn't, we saw Andy Dalton put up 25 points last week in London. He is more than capable at home in a dome. Perfect weather conditions. Give me the over 46. I like the Saints to win this game. I don't know if they'll cover the 5, but I like both of those teams in a dome to put up some points and strike the over. Number 7, we're going to take the Texans plus the 7 at the Jaguars. This is a very similar situation to the one we had last week. You're trusting the Jaguars to cover a 7-point spread. I don't see that. I see good value in going the opposite way. Houston, they're certainly not a good team, but plus 7, I will take them. This is like, what was Detroit, -6? I think they opened -6 at home versus Seattle. And it's not like Detroit's a bad team, but still, it's tough to trust bad teams with bigger spreads. I will take Houston, even though they're a bad team. Think it's going to be a closer game. Jacksonville will win, but Houston will keep this within 3 or 4 points. I'll take them plus the 7. Number 8, Eagles at the Cardinals, the over 49, so I'm expecting a higher scoring game. We really haven't seen Kyler Murray have a big offensive home game. And I do think that offense is missing something without DeAndre Hopkins, but still, Hollywood Brown catches a touchdown. Maybe James Conner has his traditional 1-yard touchdown run. Zach Ertz as well. And then the Eagles, they're an offensive juggernaut right now. It's in a dome. I just see this being a higher scoring win for the Eagles. Both offenses are able to put over 20 points on the board. And, we get like maybe a 32-28 type game with the over 49 clearly hitting. I think the over should be 50, over-under should be 52 on that game. 49 to me is really good value. 2 quarterbacks. I understand Kyler Murray's struggling, but even still, they put up 26 points against Carolina on the road. I think this is a little bit better of a matchup at home in a dome. Kyler Murray is due for 3 or 4 passing touchdowns. We know how good the Eagles offense is. The over 49 hits in that one. Lions at Patriots. I love the under 45.5. So we know how much Detroit has been scoring. I would be shocked if they kept it up. Patriots, likely with a backup, possibly Brian Hoyer or Bailey Zappi. They're going to turtle up. They're going to want to ball control. Bill Belichick against Jared Goff. I understand Jared Goff is playing well. Maybe they get Amon-Ra St. Brown back. But still, there's no way this Lions offense can continue, averaging 30, 40 points a game, whatever they're scoring. I see Bill Belichick shutting down the Lions and the under very clearly hitting. I also like the Patriots to win, but I would not trust them minus the 3. And then number 10, I have the LA Rams minus 4.5 versus the Dallas Cowboys. The models are kind of split on this one. The reason I prefer this, I know 4.5 is kind of an annoying number. If LA wins by 3 or 4, they don't cover. But do we really expect Cooper Rush to continue to cover all these spreads, guys? Guys, this is what's going to happen. I can already see it. We've got kind of a quarterback controversy in Dallas with Cooper Rush winning all these games. Who's better, Cooper Rush or Dak Prescott? We all know Dak Prescott is better, but guys, the Cowboys are going to get shut down on the road in LA, and then Dak's going to start week 6. That's what's going to happen. Dak Prescott, they haven't ruled him out yet, I don't think, but it's all but confirmed. If he comes back, the earliest it's going to be is week 6. So I think the Cowboys, Cooper Rush has done a great job. He's completely saved their season. They're going to lose this game. They're going to get stonewalled. You're talking about Aaron Donald, Bobby Wagner, even though he's older, Jalen Ramsey against the Cowboys team, and Cooper Rush, great game manager. But there's just very little explosive plays that get generated. He's been able to beat, the Giants, the Commanders at home. This is a different animal on the road. I will take the Rams after getting trounced at home. After getting trounced on Monday Night Football, they only score 9 points. They come back. They're due for a good offensive performance, and I think Allen Robinson gets into the end zone. They get him involved, maybe even Cam Akers as well. He'll make a surprise appearance, and the Rams will cover the 4.5. And then I do have a bonus parlay to look at. It's 4 legs. It's all money line. That's normally, if I was going to do an NFL parlay, that's how I would do it. So I've got the Bucks money line versus the Falcons. I would be very surprised if the Bucks lost this game. I think the Falcons are not, when you look at their talent, they're not as good as their record. They're due for losses. The Buccaneers are due to win some games. It was mostly garbage time, but Tom Brady was looking good, building cohesion late in that game. I like the Buccaneers to win that 1 o'clock game. Bills money line versus the Steelers. I think the Bills are going to trounce the Steelers. Kenny Pickett making the first start of his career. Give me Buffalo money line. They're minus 900. Commanders money line versus Titans. So there's your value, right? You're looking for a parlay. Where's the value? Commanders, I think, are like plus 140 or something. I would pick them to win straight up at home against Tennessee. And then the fourth one, I would go with the LA Rams money line versus the Cowboys for the same reasons that I had said. That would be my parlay. I would pick the Bucks at home, the Bills at home, the Commanders at home, the Rams at home. You know, if we're doing a parlay, there's no reason to pick teams on the road and risk anything like that. Let's put the odds in our favor and pick the home teams that we think are going to win, and you have the one underdog, the 2.5-point underdog in the Commanders winning outright. The value is amazing. The Titans are not nearly as good with the situation that's going on there. They can't throw the ball. They don't have receivers. And the Commanders, I know people are scared. Carson Wentz, the 10 points against the Cowboys, it's not good enough, but this is the NFL. This is what most quarterbacks are. They're extremely inconsistent. They look horrible one week. They look good the next. I feel like Wentz coming home, home crowd, they're going to be better. Maybe they get a turnover off Tannehill and they win that game. That's just how I see that. So apparently I stopped recording. I thought I filmed myself doing this little prediction thing through 538, and it just gives you a good gauge on like the confidence on each of these games and the confidence that I have in these teams. I'll just go over it. I did do this live, but I stopped recording it and then I thought it was recording. But so the Broncos at home, I agree with 538. I'm going to give them a 60% chance. I do think they'll win, but it's not like a 100% sure thing. The Packers are going to beat the Giants. The Giants, Daniel Jones is banged up. The Packers have invested so much into their defense. I've got them winning. I've got the Buccaneers beating the Falcons. I've said how much I love the Bucks this week. The Vikings over the Bears. It's just so tough to pick the Bears in any scenario due to their offense and their receivers. I agree with 538. I think this Patriots-Lions game is a toss-up. I do trust Bill Belichick and his defense, but my concern is, you're starting Brian Hoyer, Bailey Zappi, whoever. It's tough to really trust that. I have a little less faith in the Jaguars. I still think they're probably going to win. I've given them a 66% chance over the Texans. But you just can't have too much faith right now in a team like Jacksonville. They're still growing. They do have a, good young defense. They shut down Justin Herbert. I understand that. We will see. I'm giving the Browns a very slight edge over the Chargers. I think they eke out a win, but it's a toss-up. The Dolphins, Jets, flip a coin. It's Zach Wilson versus Teddy Bridgewater. I guess the Dolphins have a more talented roster. Who knows? The game's in New York. Who knows? The Bills are beating the Steelers. I like the Saints over the Seahawks, even with Andy Dalton, but I'm not completely confident in it. I've got it at a 63% chance. I like the Commanders over the Titans. I've said that, 71% chance for me. And then I like the 49ers over Carolina. It is impossible to pick Carolina right now with their offense. You just can't do it. And then the 49ers have one of the best overall rosters in the NFL. I think Nick Bosa wins Defensive Player of the Year. The Rams will beat the Cowboys, and the Cowboys will start Dak Prescott in Week 6. This one, I like a higher scoring game. I guess I would lean to the Eagles, but it certainly isn't a guarantee. I like the Ravens at home versus the Bengals. The Ravens are 0-2 at home. I don't think they're going to fall to 0-3 at home. And then the Monday night game, I'm just agreeing with 538. The Chiefs, 78% chance. You could say 100, but I just get a weird vibe with the Raiders. They're just so inconsistent. It would be shocking if they were going to win this game, but there's just some weird vibe I get with that game. I don't know, but I do still like the Chiefs, and I'm just agreeing with 538 there. So that's just a representation of kind of my confidence level in each of these teams. But guys, that is going to do it for this video. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. Link to that's always in the description. I'm, of course, the Depressed Ginger. Thank you for watching.